Welcome to episode 72 Last Minute Podcast.
I didn't mean to do that.
No, this is how we do.
All right.
So, guys,
Ultra professional.
Carey. Yeah, we have a guest. Carey J. Carey, what do you do? How do I know you? How do you know us? How'd you get in this? Who are you and how'd you get here?
Why are you here?
That's what we're getting at.
That's the real question of the day, and the truth is, I'm not sure. I got a text from Cam going, "What are you doing Tuesday night?" 2 days ago, and I was like, "Hey, I really like your podcast. If you ever want me to guest, that'd be awesome." Okay, what are you doing Tuesday?
Hey.
Fucking!
You opened Pandora's box. You asked for it.
Nothing. Why? Hey, you're in. What? Put me in, coach. Like all of a sudden, I'm on the podcast.
For anybody
now,
not
so
listening, that's unaware, Greg's fired from the podcast.
We tossed him. The streak is ending. No, it's not.
No,
We're gonna.
You can't toss Greg.
He's
He's
gonna
a
bring
resident Leafs fan. It's a Canadian hockey podcast.
It's a staple. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, actually,
that's the thing. I'm replacing him, but I'm a Flames fan. Oh, no, it's a bad idea for the media. They won't like it.
What's funny because a friend of mine who I work with, he was saying, he's like, "Oh, were you inspired to do your podcast through Leafs Lunch?" And I was like, "What the fuck did you just say to me?"
Absolutely.
He's like, and he's like, "Yeah,
Yes,
you know Jeff
why?
O'Neill. He knows a lot." And I'm like, "Jeff O'Neill knows a lot." And he's like, "Well, I don't like Craig Button." I was like, "I do, yeah."
Cam's just melting down. He's like, "How do you not like Craig Button?"
I will say that Jeff O'Neill picked the Jets to win the Stanley Cup
Yeah,
on the
'cause
TSN prediction
He
show
wanted the
last year.
free drinks
This year?
forever in
Last
Winnipeg.
year. Like
Well,
this
last
past
year-
year, he
wait.
picked the Jets to win the Cup. And
He thought like this year was their year.
No, like last playoffs.
Like last April when they did their picks and they're like, "Hey, who's going to be in the Cup champ?"
You're
He
kidding.
said the Jets.
Okay, I gotta
No,
be
I'm
honest.
kidding.
I love the Jets. They're my favorite team.
No, I know.
But I know what they are, and what they were what they were when they got swept by the Ducks. Like that. Sorry, it's just.
Yeah, well, Jeff O'Neill
They're a
needed
solid
incentive
team,
to come to Winnipeg to get free drinks forever. And that was it. And you goddamn know it.
Yep.
He was a
He was
goon
like, you know
turned
how-
personality. That's what he is.
You know how I can make sure that everyone in Winnipeg loves me forever?
Yeah.
I'll say there could be a Cup champs, and people are like, yes, please,
Let's do it! Yay!
I want it, please, so bad.
All right, so what we're going to cover on the podcast, and I got to make sure to tease, and we got to talk about it, because Greg and I blow ass at teasing.
Also,
Go ahead.
you asked me like 17 questions off the hop, and I didn't get
Oh,
to
yeah,
answer
right, but
any of
if you
them,
know
so that's
anything,
why
we
I'm
ask
here.
questions and we never answer. But
That's true.
you're going to keep us
Just
on
to-
track.
just
They
for
over
people's-
promise and under deliver.
Yeah,
however it is.
Yeah. Carey, that's me. I'm just Cam's best friend. That's why I'm on this podcast, everyone. That's
No, you know
pretty
hockey.
much. Yeah, I know hockey, but I mean, and we'll get into what I know about hockey. But mostly I don't read. I just shoot from the heart. So
Then you'll fit in perfect.
and,
Yeah, you'll
and,
fit
and
in
actually, Cam and Dan, why don't you describe the role I play on our hockey team that we play on together? I recently won the Brendan Smith Award for having, what was it, more guts than brains or something like that?
Well, Carey is in stature the smallest, but
By far.
in heart and tenacity and feistiness, the scrappiest.
I'm the littler, scrappier.
Littlest, scrappiest
There you
is
go.
what he is.
Yeah,
When there's a perfect example, there was one gentleman, a dad on the team, got hit, and he went down hard from
I was
behind.
mad. He's old.
And Carey was he was the only guy in a scrum with 5 guys, and we have 2 of our biggest guys in the so we're all sitting on the bench like, what the hell? Why is Carey the only guy? Go!
Dan was laughing at me. I think Dan was on the ice.
remember that.
Too. You don't?
Where's-
When Jeff got knocked down hard?
Was that this year?
No,
it was
like 2 or 3
was
years
back
ago.
when Sean's dad played with us.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Again,
Maybe. I don't know.
he's round 2 again, actually. He's the Dan Boyle
Yeah,
of
he's
our
back,
team.
actually.
Wait,
But,
Jeff's back?
Oh, yeah, you.
Oh,
yeah.
during summer he
Oh, yeah,
came
Carey only plays spring.
Because
He's kind of a big deal. Carey, what do you do?
I'm a musician, so I have no money. So when the summertime comes, I run off to camp to make money.
But you play music. What kind of music?
Folk music, and I tour with it sometimes.
Where
And
can
occasionally,
people find you?
Just Google Carey J. Carey spelled the way that Carey Price is spelled.
Nice.
Yeah.
You thought about this. And Bus spelled
Bus
how?
with an extra S.
Yeah, B-U-S-S. Bus is German. So,
All right.
yeah, there you go. I wish I could say I'm finished, but I'm not.
Yeah, that's okay.
It's okay.
He's got finished, but he's not finished.
Actually, I lack finish.
You know what's funny?
Although sometimes, do you remember that goal I scored last year where everyone on the team was like, what the hell was that?
It blipped. There was one blip of Ovechkin, and we're like, what the hell? Oh my God, was he here? Because I don't know what happened. I blacked out.
Carey was happy. Everyone else was
I was
like,
in the Poconos.
real funny, Carey. Real funny.
Yeah. Like, woo!
So that's how we know Carey.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you'll fit in fine. You'll fit in
yeah.
great. So,
Absolutely.
this week, the Jets played technically 3 games. They're playing right now. What's the score in the game?
They're
Spoiler
down,
alert if you're listening to this.
2-0, actually.
Oh, hey.
They're going by the time-honored tradition of falling behind early only to play their butts off for the last 30 minutes.
Well, you know what?
Yeah. Guys, we
become their
built
style.
ourselves a hole.
Here's the thing. They looked at the Flames last year and they were like, you know what we need more of? More of that. Let's fall behind in every game. We got the first goal in every game this year, and it sucked because then we still couldn't beat a single game in the Ducks or against the Ducks. Beat a game.
It's frustrating because the Jets are a better team than how they're playing.
Yes.
It's just it's very frustrating to watch them.
And they're playing better than their record suggests, too.
No, well, maybe.
In some ways, right? Because
but they win one, they lose one. They win one, they lose one. Like, it's just, it's so frustrating.
Yeah. They aren't going to overtime very often either.
No.
Which is weird because they play a lot of close games.
And it's frustrating because I watched the game they played against the Rangers on Friday.
Yeah.
And if Lundqvist didn't play, if he was slightly off, they would have scored 10 goals in that game because they were all over the Rangers. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. I wish
he made like probably 6 highlight of the night saves, and then they lose to the Oilers, and now they're going to lose to the Flames.
What happened to the Rangers, by the way?
Well,
what changed? Did somebody leave? I feel like I'm missing something. Like I know Old Man Winter retired, and then
Old Man Winter.
Martin St. Louis.
Oh yeah, Martin for Mama.
For Mama.
Yeah.
He retired, but then they still gave Tampa what for last year?
They got rid of the Ryan Callahan contract. And that's hurting Tampa right now, too.
True.
Just based off of...
Yeah, that's true.
But I mean... talks to Stephen not wanting to stay.
Who did they get for Callahan again?
Martin St. Louis.
Oh.
Because Martin St. Louis is like,
so
Stevie, you left me off Team Canada? I'm not playing for you anymore. Put me on Canada.
Did they get Brian Boyle, or was he free agent?
I think it was a free agent.
Either way, they have a well-structured... they got a good team, decent coach. I don't like it.
But to answer your question, I have no idea what happened to the Rangers.
That's weird.
They were playing back-to-back, but the Jets could have scored
well for a long time.
What was the score in the game?
5-2, but they legitimately could have scored probably 10.
Yeah.
I wish...
there was probably at least 5 goals that were the highlight of the night saves.
I wish the sentence that you said earlier,
but
I could say every time the Flyers play, anyone plays the Rangers. If only Lundqvist wasn't playing, that son of a bitch.
You know what's funny, though, is he hasn't even really been able to save them for the last, month? I have him in my... I shouldn't say... I know no one likes to talk about fantasy.
No, we talk about it all the time.
I have him in my fantasy pool. I'm like, look, it's a shoo-in. He's going to get all these... What the hell, Rangers? What are you, just giving up? I'm watching the highlights. You're hanging him out to dry. Yeah, I'm getting lots of points for saves, but with all the losses he's getting...
It doesn't help it averages.
But you know what? It's perfect, because the Jets are putting him in the spot where they're struggling to figure out if they're going to sign Ladd and Bufflin. Well, you know what? If you're going to be this crappy of a team with them, you don't need them. Get rid of them.
Yeah, that's arguable. I mean, for me, though, this year, it's interesting because we got rid of Stemper. We got rid of... Frolik. Which is too bad. I like Frolik, but honestly, he hasn't done much with the Flames this year, so I think he was asking for more than arguably he's worth. And then you bring in Burmistrov, Ehlers, and tried to bring in Nicky Patin. And we got rid of... I actually think that, what's his name, Kopp, has been a kind of an upgrade over Slater. But he brings more
younger
energy.
version.
But anyway, we went with the youth project, or the youth movement, and of course it's going to have its drawbacks. We're going to have inconsistencies, and everyone's just pissed. What? We're going to make the playoffs again? It's that's exactly right.
And people are saying maybe the Jets overachieved last year, and maybe they did. They had a lot of overtime losses. They had a lot of games where they won by 1 goal that maybe they shouldn't have won.
Their goalies got hot and helped them. But that happens every year with teams.
To defense for the whole season. Yeah. Pretty much.
But it's the penalty. There's, again, number 1 in penalty minutes, or shorthanded in the league. Mm-hmm. And they got away with it last year, but this year it's caught up to them.
Yeah, their penalty kill hasn't been as
Paul
good.
Maurice is he benched Andrew Ladd Friday night.
Yeah,
did he? He didn't even play?
He didn't bench him. He moved into the third line, moved Thorburn up to the first line because he took 2 stupid penalties.
For 10 minutes?
For the third period. For most of the third. God damn it. And then Chicago game a couple weeks ago, Buff got sat in the second period because he took the dumb penalties. So
yeah, no, Maurice has had enough.
It's rough. Well, it's too bad because I think people... they are a good team and they will be a playoff team again. Maybe not this year, but it's frustrating to see them play so well and beat a team like Washington or New York.
Yeah.
And then the next night or the next game out, they lose to Edmonton or they lose to Philadelphia. You know, like teams
we
that,
can never beat Philly.
Hey.
Philly and Winnipeg have the same
games.
amount of points right now, so fuck you
Here's
guys.
the thing about Philly, what I love and hate is that they'll win any game that you're like, okay, Philly, I know that you've been losing a ton of games, but please just don't win this one too, okay? And they always beat Pittsburgh so that he can talk smack over Kevin.
Yeah.
And they always beat the Jets.
Always.
They always beat
Okay.
Here's the thing. This is why Cam has picked them. Because they always beat the teams that all of his friends like. So he can be like, yeah, what do you know about the Flyers? And it's just like, dude, the Flyers are awful. And he's like, they beat your team now. And you're just like, oh, that's
guys, they made
so
a pact with the devil,
classic
okay?
Flyers.
Yeah,
like, just what a bunch of dicks. They don't even care about their season. They're like, all right, will it ruin anyone's day if we win? It will? Okay, we're gonna win. Let's do it. Let's play. No, come on. Claude's like, okay, no, I'll put the bottle down. Let's go.
You asked for it.
It's true.
You brought him on the show, and now your secret's
I've created this evil. It's so true, though. I love it. The Flyers would be like on a 7-game losing streak, come into town. Oh, last year.
Yeah.
They came into town with Rob fucking Zepp, a 31-year-old rookie. And he won!
But what was great about that was not only that Rob Zepp was their goalie, but who scored 2 goals to beat the Jets, the game tire and the overtime winner.
Oh,
Vincent
Voracek.
LeCavalier. Oh, wait, no, but what was the game where LeCavalier scored 2 against us, too?
Oh, that was when they played him at home last year.
Oh, God,
like
that was
Philly.
It's going to happen again. Don't
Oh,
worry.
But LeCavalier scored like 2 of his 7 goals all last year.
What
He just
Voracek...
decides to try something.
Well, last year, Voracek's first goal was a first shot on net, 40 seconds in. Like, it was a 2-on-1 with Giroux and Voracek. And I stood up before they shot, and I'm like, it's in! And they scored, and then I was like, yeah!
Meanwhile, this year he can't buy his goals.
He got his 3rd goal of the season last year, so
good.
you watch your mouth.
Yeah. You know, I just want to know, how does it feel for your superstar, Jake Voracek? How much is he getting paid this year?
A little bit over $8 million.
Yeah, he's being outscored by Chris Scorpion right now. So let's just put that in.
Hey, it's a contract year for Scorpion. He's going to earn his
He's
cash.
amazing.
Fun fact that I heard today, Ryan Getzlaf, 28 games played this year, 1 goal. It was an empty net goal.
Voracek, his first goal was
There's only
an
one
overtime
forward
winner,
on
and I
the
was like,
Ducks,
fuck
too, who
yeah.
has more than 6 goals. And his name, Corey Perry. How many does he even have? He's been awful. I picked him in my fantasy this year. There's a reason that I'm in that fight. Okay?
Getzlaf,
He's my ringer.
1 goal through 30 games, and it's an empty net goal.
Oh,
For him.
my God.
How
terrible.
do you have that much talent? That was like...
That's terrible.
I was actually watching an interview because I was reading up a little bit on that Team Finland, and they're going to have Rantanen coming to play, and they're like, Rantanen gets some comparisons to Ryan Getzlaf. I'm like, I might want to pull that back right now. I mean, he doesn't probably want to be compared to him.
He really has a scoring prowess, not when you compared him to that guy right now.
If he turns it like Getzlaf, what? So he gets to 30 and then he just turns it off? Like, what happens?
Well, that's like when he made it like past 50 that one year.
Yeah.
How, or Corey Perry, how he scored rattled off 6 goals in 3 games. They're like, Corey, you're really close to 50. He's like, oh. And they're like, okay, it's actually the start of the season. We lied. He's like, oh, I got a better score then before I park it. And then he did it. It was awesome. What I'm trying to find right now.
Yeah, what are you looking for there?
I was going to lead into.
Are we still talking about Jets, by the way?
We are talking about Jets.
Okay, because I have a question for all
Go,
of you. Because
let
I
me
keep
have
hearing
it.
all this. We apparently have, the second most amount of money committed to our defense of any team?
Oh, yeah, 46% of the cap.
And we have the lowest cap in the whole league.
Really?
Yeah, lowest
cap hit? Oh, interesting.
The
So
lowest
our
cap
forwards
hit? Really?
are by far the most underpaid
Wait. So that
ever.
So that means we have the most to spend.
Right, but here's what's interesting.
No,
right?
that was a question. I don't know.
It is.
I
Yeah.
guess
Okay.
so. Yeah.
Yeah, we
But
have
you know how penny
12
pinching, dude.
12
It's a
point
Winnipeg
something.
team. You can't spend lots of money. They'll go against.
But
what
they have the
Winnipeg is
richest
believing.
team, and he said
I know.
He said he'd go all in if they thought they had a chance to
Oh,
win.
yeah,
that ain't
there's-
happening this year.
No,
they were already
definitely think they're gonna-
technically eliminated. Not really
Well, and-
at Thanksgiving time. So
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, if you want to play that by that stat, they're
Yeah.
out. But
Well,
Did
that's
you
kind of
see-
what got us in last
did
year.
you see
almost.
that article?
But
they
I
were-
wanted to. Yeah. Go
Oh
ahead.
no,
And
go.
then I'll ask a question.
I was gonna
But
say they were
you go on
projecting from this point out the correlation of points,
Mhm.
and the Jets they have the Jets finishing 6th out of in the Central and
Okay.
missing playoffs.
Yeah.
They finishing with 81 points. The next team above them had 96. And I was
Ooh,
like, Jesus, we're not
That's
gonna. Are
that
you?
big of a
Gee,
no.
come on.
they're
Disparity.
8 points out right now.
Yeah,
Behind
we are.
Nashville.
Ah, piss.
Oh,
Sorry,
maybe,
go ahead.
Maybe that's not so
With a game
realistic
in hand.
then. with a game in hand. I hate. Why do we never have games in hand? We're always like
we do now.
We have a game in hand.
We have 2 games in hand on Colorado.
No
we have
way.
1 on Nashville.
Usually we're
into that. We all know. We don't need to mention Colorado on this podcast. They don't count anymore.
They're ahead of us.
What?
They're ahead of us. Yeah, dude. They've been playing well.
Oh no! Who's last in the division?
Us.
No.
Yes.
When did this happen?
It's the Jets,
Last week.
Wait. Yeah. So are we? Oh, we'll get there. We'll get to the election.
Here's what my point.
We're 23rd. We're tied with Calgary.
Okay, so we have all this money invested in our defense, right? Which means, and you brought up a point that I was going to get to, which is that we have like the lowest cap hit, right? Which means that our forwards are like the least paid group, probably in the NHL. What we don't have a problem with right now is scoring. Last night, notwithstanding, because we're actually doing pretty well for goals for, and our goals against has been horrific. I would say our team defense has not been particularly good. So, why do we have so much invested into our defense? And what are the what does that look like?
Well, it's a.
Like, how do you feel about that?
Like, well, look at this year though. There's
we have a rookie contract though.
I know, but look at
we're
the contracts.
Still that high.
Look at the contracts coming.
Did you guys talk about the asking prices from the?
We did. Yeah, we used your notes.
Trouba's asking. Well,
I loved your take on that. That was hilarious.
His agent has denied it.
Denied it. Yeah, rightfully.
Well, of course.
But the starting point for them, not.
The fuck out of here!
It's not what they.
$7 million.
Okay,
why would you not want to take a show me contract?
No.
You take this, but here's the thing: it's a starting point. So realistically, they're thinking probably 6 to 6.5 is what they're going to settle for.
What they did, they walked onto the Beamer lot and they're like, "Okay, what do you got for like 10 grand?" And they're like, "You're going to want to go to Toyota." Cool. I actually just wanted to talk to you for a second.
Here's the way that I look at that contract is for the player he is right now, way too much money. For the player he could be, if he turns into the player that they think he will be. That will be a steal.
Yeah, but you don't give someone.
No, I know, but that will be a steal in three years, maybe.
But that's why you take.
If he turns into a Norris Trophy winner,
that's Norris.
But
who does that? Nobody does that.
Hey, you know what? Some team will give him an offer.
And that's why
I guarantee you.
That's why we.
And the Jets might have to.
You take those picks, baby.
Here's a question: They're gonna have to take it. Well,
take those.
They either take the gamble, or they give him they give him the Islanders for Hamnick.
Boom! Oh, I'm glad. Okay, that's awesome.
We gotta do that.
But
come on, bring Travis home, baby.
If I'm them, I try and find a way to get Hamnick to play with Trouba and Myers, not swap Hamnick for one of the two.
So do you get rid of Bufflin then?
Yes.
They don't want Buff.
You don't want Buff.
They don't want.
They don't want him. They already offered him Buff.
Yeah.
Really? That's very interesting.
Obviously,
they don't want Buff.
Here's the thing that I like. Buff.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I just say they don't want him because he's a UFA.
Right.
If he was signed, they'd probably do it.
Oh, you're saying the Islanders don't want Buff?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said the Jets because I was gonna say dude, the Jets.
The Jets allegedly offered them Bufflin. They said no, we don't want a UFA for Travis Hamnick.
Fair enough. But what I was gonna say about Buff is that and you probably are gonna just straight up agree with this maybe, but I mean, love him or hate him for what he brings and what he sometimes makes mistakes with on the team. For all the good and bad that he brings, the Jets are a way different team if you don't have Dustin Bufflin. It's a completely different factor to play against them.
You don't have that.
You don't have that.
You don't have that snarl behind you because you're like, I have Dustin Bufflin.
You never know what he's going to bring to the game. Sometimes he's going to score on you. Sometimes he's going to put up 4 points against you. And sometimes he's going to beat the living hell out of your forwards. Other times he's going to be.
Sometimes he might win you. Sometimes he might help you beat the Jets.
Yeah, it's true. You never know. You roll the dice.
He's a game changer.
He is a game changer.
For better or for worse.
Exactly.
He's a game changer. And when you look at a player like Andrew Ladd, he's not a game changer.
Oh, would we say that?
I would.
Andrew Ladd. I'm with Dan. He's not a game changer. Not a goddamn chance.
We have debated this.
Hey, he won Carolina the Cup.
We all know that.
Forget.
Here's the thing.
If he hit a goalie.
Hey, it was awesome.
He may be a game changer in the locker room because he's the captain, but on the ice, if you took him out of there, you could find someone that does what he does.
For a fraction of the money.
For a lot less.
So would you argue then that his points and point totals of the last 3 years have been more of a result of his ice time and his time on the power play than anything else?
I'd say it's the two guys he's playing with.
Well, no, but that's exactly...
But also, I mean, what he does is that... So basically what you're saying is we need to find another 6'3" hustle guy who is always in front of the net and has great hand-eye.
And they just sent that guy to the AHL.
Who's that?
Adam Lowry.
That's correct.
Well,
what the hell?
He's 6'5".
He's had a rough goal.
Do you know why they did? Greg and I couldn't think of why.
He hasn't played well at all this year.
Oh, really? Okay.
Well, he's been dropped to the fourth line. In training camp, he was on the first line. He was centering Little and Ladd. they were hoping.
Wait, they took Bryan Little out of center?
No, they're just trying to find other options.
Little actually is a natural winger. He's not a centerman.
They did the old Taylor Hall where Edmonton's like, we need a big center, so we're going to draft Taylor Hall. And Tyler Seguin's like, what the fuck?
I'll tell you this. I think Lowry will he had a better rookie year than people thought, so I think the expectations for him got blown out of proportion.
Damn rookie.
He's never going to be more than a solid two-way hockey player, I don't think. But he's talented. And they were hoping he'd be top 6, and he ended up playing his way to the 4th line, and honestly, he was getting outplayed by Anthony Peluso and Andrew Copp. Like, those guys were noticeably playing better than he was. So I think for those guys, those guys are playing well, but I think they kind of realize he's regressing, and they want to stop it before it gets worse.
Oh, to give him
He's
some
too
confidence.
good to play in the AHL. I was at the first Moose game last week when he played. He's too good to be down there.
Yeah.
You can tell.
That's what I was going to say, because I just have the stats in front of me. Like, Nick Batan's played 14 games. He has 2 goals, 9 assists for 11 points. And then I'm going to go, who else do I have? I have Morrissey, just because I wanted to see what Morrissey had. 27 games played, 1 goal, 3 assists. Lowry's played 4 games.
Morrissey only has 3 points in 27
4
games.
points.
4 points.
Yeah.
That's bad.
And he's
That's not trying to say bad, but for you're expecting the guy to dominate.
Lowry's played 4 games and that's 4 assists.
Yeah.
So,
he's going to produce every game probably.
I'd fully expect that from him. So
he'll be back. But I don't know. Would you pay Andrew Ladd $7 million? That's what he wants. I would.
I'd pay. Here's the thing: if you're paying Bryan Little, what are we paying Bryan Little right now? 4.5.
He's on a very good contract.
5.5.
He's on
4.5.
4.5, and he's on an extremely reasonable contract. But that said, if you're only paying Bryan Little, who I would argue makes Andrew Ladd look better than he could be with other wingers or with other centermen, then you can't be paying him more than you pay Bryan Little in some ways. Because I don't think he brings... I mean, maybe leadership-wise, sure, he brings more to your team, but I don't know, scoring-wise, he just cleans up all the rebounds.
And another way I look at it, maybe people might disagree with me. To me, the best in terms of forwards, the best player on the team is Blake Wheeler, and you're not going to pay Andrew Ladd more than he's making.
Right, and
granted,
Blake Wheeler.
Granted, they signed Wheeler to $5.75 a year. Mm-hmm. If they were to sign him now, he'd probably be getting $7 or $8 million a year. Because that's just the going rate of a player like him.
And that's exactly what even Greg said on the podcast last week about. He said you're not going to pay like Trouba, Buff, Ladd. You're not going to pay him more and Little. Well, you're not going to pay him more than your best player in the ice should be getting paid the most. That's normally how it works.
Absolutely. Your
example, the Flyers.
Blake Wheeler.
The Flyers, Giroux. Night in, night out, he's their best player.
Yeah,
Blake Wheeler.
Night in, night out, best player. Right? Like, he really is...
What does he get paid again?
$5.75 for 6...
which is interesting.
For 6 years. But, I mean, that was 2 years ago.
That's an incredible deal now, though, right?
Yeah, like, he's honestly...
But to even bring it back...
For his point production, like, I think he's top 5 or 6 in the league in scoring right now still for points. Like,
yeah, he's got 34 points. He's tied with Johnny Gaudreau.
Yeah, like, I mean, you'd be getting if he was going to market, you'd be getting $8-9 million probably.
Right,
because that's just what that's just what the market.
And at the time, he wasn't really that far. Like, I mean, he was more of a 60-point guy, 65, right? Which 5.75. That's more or less what a 60-point guy, 65-point guy seems to get paid these days because they're kind of few and far between.
Well, you got to watch out for guys like there's like a myth going on that contracts between over $3 million to $6 million are like a real hit or miss. Like, look at contract, like, example, Scotty Hartnell. What's that?
David Clarkson.
Yeah, there you go. Like, you have so many hit or miss guys. And those contracts, if you have too many of them on your team, they bog your team down.
Well, they come...
You don't help your team
really
at that
quick.
point.
Yeah, but Blake Wheeler, you knew he wasn't going to... Just based on his attitude. But also, the one thing that I think is interesting is we're talking about Buffalo, we're talking about Ladd, and we're talking about Trouba all the time. And nobody... And this is what makes me love this kid even more. Nobody is talking anything from Mark Scheifele's camp. They're like...
Yeah, Greg and I talked about that.
Gonna give him?
Yeah, we're just like, you shut the hell up. Don't answer any questions.
Yeah, you know his
to me. We'll deal with it.
Because in my head, Mark Scheifele has like this voice, like, hey, hey, agent. And his agent was like, no, Mark, you don't say anything. Okay, I'll just sit here and play hockey. Like,
you know what, though?
Like, just go score goals, Mark. Okay.
Honestly,
it's the golden boy.
Aside from Blake Wheeler, he's probably been their best player this year.
I think
been fantastic.
Shagley's going to get that bridge. No bridge.
Matthew Perreault, arguably better, too. But, man, he's playing well. And he might be playing his way out of the Jets having a hard time justifying giving him a bridge contract.
Oh,
well, and that's a good situation to be in, though.
He's playing extremely well.
But also, he's the kind of guy who, from what I can tell, seems like he's someone who actually wants to stick around. Yeah. Like, he doesn't have that stars in my eyes, Evander Kane-ish kind of like, give me money or I'm walking.
You show him some respect, first off. He's going to be in our town January 10th.
No, I'm not. To be fair, though, I don't think any of the Jets want to leave, and from what I've from everything, okay, well, maybe
there are people who I could see leaving for better money, strictly just straight up like, yep, no, I wouldn't even think twice.
From what you hear, though, like it's a pretty close group of guys, like they're a pretty tight knit team, so totally. It sounds like a lot of them are happy. But I mean, hey, if the Jets don't want to pay a lad $7 million, someone else will. I'm sure he'd take it. I'm sure any of those guys.
Some of these guys are gonna have to go anyway. And so it's like, and I remember when I used to think about like back on the Flames before their rebuild, I was like, what are we gonna do when those guys aren't here? And it feels like when a big guy like that leaves, you're like, it feels like there's just gonna be a hole, and now you're
gonna take a step back for like a year or two if a big guy like Dustin Byfuglien or Andrew Ladd walk away.
Byfuglien leaves, there's a lot of changes that happen on the ice.
But think about it, Kate. If they can't sign him, they're gonna deal him.
Right.
What are you going to get for that?
Andrew Ladd?
No, but doesn't Byfuglien.
For Byfuglien?
Byfuglien or Ladd. You can still get a pretty penny for either of those players.
Yeah, true.
Like, look at the contract Ladd is on. You're telling me a playoff contender wouldn't chomp at the bit to get that Andrew Ladd contract?
What does he got right now?
Like, 4.5 top, if that.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Maybe 4.75.
So even if you can re-sign him,
if you can re-sign Andrew Ladd to a contract that has a 5 at the beginning of it, you got to take that. Even if
but his starting. Carl Hagelin got 4.4. No, he got $4 million. He's never put up over 40 points. He's never put up over 40.
This is the problem with the NHL is that not the NHL, with how good of a job the player agents are doing, right? Is that they're getting these underperforming players great contracts for them.
But the GMs are signing them and owners are signing them.
I know. Why are they doing that?
To be fair, you have to admire the Jets because they don't do that.
They really don't. They don't put up.
This is a big test.
They even traded for a cap-friendly contract.
I think Lee Stepniak not signing him. I think that hurt them in the depth.
You were
absolutely.
We have it. It's on record. You were adamant in the summer. You were like, you should sign him. Don't let him go.
They gave you credit.
He's almost a point a game in New Jersey this year.
He's a good player, man.
He's a good player. He was openly.
Sorry.
Sorry.
He openly admitted he wanted to stay here. So, I mean...
and the Jets are like, we're going to hand Patan and Cobb and Lowry. Now they're in the AHL. Come on.
It is what it is, but I think now that they're finding out when your fourth line is... When you're bringing up guys like Halischuk and Armia and like...
How has Armia done? Did you watch the game?
Has he played a game?
He played yesterday, I think.
I watched him play the Ranger game. He's all right. I don't know why they took Peluso out, because I thought she thought he was playing really well.
When he finally gets on a roll, Maurice is like, no. And he pulls him back.
Yeah, true.
Like,
Anthony, that's enough playtime.
You're not allowed to play like a hockey player. Just go fight.
Like, he finally kind of gets that stigma off him that all he can do is fight.
Yeah, because he's actually a solid player.
He is. He's young, he's solid, and then,
he's a lot like Thorburn.
I don't get that, but I think they want to shake it up and try to get some scoring. But what does it say to depth that every time there's an opening on the third line, Chris Thorburn takes that spot?
Yeah.
Nothing against him, but he's not. He doesn't belong there.
I mean, I think part of it, though, too, is there's got to be something going on in terms of his personality and Paul Maurice's trust in him. Because, why else do you keep throwing a guy who, let's face it, he's not a big scorer, but he sure does get moving on the line. He's always skating his butt off, and he's a big guy. So... that helps any line. And
he now has the Jets franchise record for most games played.
Yeah,
which he does for good for him. 595 games played because Kovalchuk is at 594. Yep. So I guess I have to lay off for a little bit.
Who would have ever thought that Thorburn would play more games of this franchise than Covey?
And I'm sure he's a good fourth line guy. He's got some skill. He's loved by everyone on the team.
Everyone on the team, yeah.
So I mean, but he doesn't belong on the third line. He belongs on the fourth line.
Yeah. He belongs. Here's the thing. He belongs on a fourth line where he can play 7 to 9 minutes a night.
Yeah.
Not the 3 or 4 garbage minutes
Still,
that him
what
and
the fuck,
Caluso were
Jets?
getting. No, last night actually the fourth line got, I think it was 10 minutes almost.
No,
Well,
they were approaching that.
They get a ray of sunshine every now and then,
Oh, yeah.
but Maurice
Yeah,
was
we
like,
played that
"Oh
Oilers,
no,
Maurice
that's
was like,
too
all
much.
right."
our top line's producing really good when you guys get over 7 minutes, so we're gonna give you 6."
Yeah, when they
Maurice
get a little
actually
bit of
wants
breathing
the.
time.
He actually like he likes those guys. He thinks those guys should play more. But I mean, it's tough when he's depending on a game. Like when you're down last night to Edmonton 3-1, you can't really roll 4 lines.
Yeah,
But
he
he
could roll
did,
4
but he
lines.
did.
He could do it.
Well, he did.
And Armia, I think, and them had some chances, but
Yeah. Armia could be he's young. He could be he could be a decent
solid
hockey player.
yeah,
Halischuk's solid. He's a smart
I love
guy.
Halischuk.
He's not bad. I mean,
He's
but
a
it's
good
just
player.
I don't know.
He's one of those guys who he's so close to that line though, right? Where like he doesn't bring enough offense to really justify keeping him up all the time, but at the same time, you need a guy like that on your team. We already have another one, like Chris Thorburn, but he's just a small Chris Thorburn.
I still think Ehlers is being wasted where he is. That's
like on the third line
with the 2 guys he's playing with because I'm like.
Isn't Vermistrov frustrating, man? I love him.
He has so much talent and he does absolutely nothing.
Yeah,
At the
it's
same
weird.
time.
He looks like he should score. Like,
Yeah.
Here's what's interesting about Alex Vermistrov to me, anyway. Whenever I watch him, I'm like, because he's a third line center, so he does what you want him to do in terms of whenever he's on, he usually has the puck, or him and his line do, and they're usually in the other team's end. He never scores, but goddamn, if he doesn't always, maybe not make chances, but boy, he passes it around.
He doesn't even really do that though. Like he's like, he is frustrating. Exactly what you said. Like
because it's like he looks good. He moves well with the puck. He's hard to knock off the puck, and then just nothing.
Yeah, he looks fantastic, and
he just stays on the board.
It's so frustrating. Like I'd rather have a guy that's just gonna get in the corner and make a big hit and grind.
But the thing is, what
keep
we've
the
had,
puck but it's
I don't know because what we used to have as a third line center instead of Burmy a few years ago anyway, we had Olli Jokinen who scored a little more, but boy oh boy did he sure give up a lot more chances the other way. Yep. So Burmy, I have a hard time being mad at him. It would be nice if he could score a little more though.
It'd be nice, yeah. I mean, they haven't.
But he would love that too, I'm sure.
Oh, of course, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of scoring, Jaromir Jagr
officially
passes Marcel Dion for 4th in all-time goals with 732 goals.
That's amazing.
Jagr's also 4th in points with 1,826. He's behind Gordie Howe, 1,850, so he'll probably pass him this year. Gordie Howe.
Definitely possible.
Mark Messier is 1,887, and Gretzky's obviously 2,857. But I'd be good at hockey too if no one was allowed to hit me.
Do you have to be retired to go in the Hall of Fame?
Yes.
Yes.
Because they should change that rule for him.
No.
Why?
He's just
that funny.
He's a playing Hall of Famer.
He's a playing Hall of Famer.
Well,
that would be pretty cool.
got rid of or now it's like 2 years instead of like some 5 or 6
The thing is,
years.
that someone would be like, well, if you could do that for Jagr, we should have done it for Gretzky. But he's not. He wasn't as funny.
He's Gretzky.
He's for sure going in though. That's
to me, Jagr's more fun than I remember Gretzky being.
Did you guys hear about the blockbuster trade that happened this week?
No. What?
The piece is on the move.
The piece?
The piece.
Oh, yes, Kaderi, right?
Yeah, Rob Scuderi.
Kaderi got
traded to Chicago for Trevor Daley.
Oh, does that even help Pittsburgh? I guess Letang's out.
You know what's crazy? I was talking
to Chicago.
Well, I was talking.
No,
I was talking to
probably cap wise.
They essentially gave up Patrick Sharp for Rob Scuderi.
Okay, I was reading what teams
because Trevor Daley came back in that deal. So
what teams need
and Garbett, sorry too.
Oh, Garbett's a good player, man. He's got a lot of speed.
They had to make that move, and then remember a day after that happened was
15 goals one year.
Okay, remember the back in the summer when Patrick Kane got accused of sexual assault?
Yes.
That was a day after they traded Patrick Sharp. So when that news broke, I was like, "Oh,
another
did
one.
they just lose Sharp and Kane? Awesome! I hate the Hawks."
Like you kind of feel bad for him at the same time. You're happy. You're like, ugh.
Yeah. No.
It's like when LA went down with all of those player arrests and stuff like that. You're like, oh no, yes. I hate the Kings.
I was talking to our Pens fan there.
Oh yeah.
And he was just saying, basically they needed a more mobile D, I guess. Trevor Daley,
Yeah.
he's
Well,
okay.
Scuderi's
But I was reading,
close to the
just to
end,
mention
I
what
think.
we were talking about, like the players and how they affect teams and whatnot.
Yeah.
I was reading what each team needed, and the breakdown for Chicago was they really need to shore up their top 4D with a nice 4-5 defenseman. And I'm like, fuck you, Chicago. Like, god damn it. Every
You know
other
what we
Jets
could
is like,
really
we need like a legitimate, like, all-star Vezina goalie.
The Jets' write-up was Steven Stamkos. Please!
Yeah.
We'll do anything you
Legit
want.
reason why you should come here. Why not?
Come on!
Come on, dude.
We like you.
We have, come on!
We have like
Remember that
Dummy
time
and
you scored your
Scorpies?
60th goal and we cheered for you?
outdoor
Yeah,
rinks.
yeah.
We have a bunch of good shits here. We got outdoor rinks and, what else do we have? Portage and Maine, sometimes we have parties there.
Hey, did you know I like hockey players nowadays for professionals and whatnot, you have to have written into your clause like that you're allowed to play golf or you can't play this, can't play that. Did you know in every contract Michael Jordan ever signed, he had a clause called for the love of the game where he was allowed to play any pickup game? Ever.
That's awesome.
Isn't that crazy? But hold on.
When you're that good, I mean,
Imagine
you
if
need
Buff had for the love of the game showed up at like Jonathan Taves Community Center playing pickup.
Burmistro did that a bunch of times at the one on not
Fort
on
Rouge?
what's it called?
River Heights.
That's the one.
River Heights CC.
Really?
Yeah, Burmy did that a bunch of times.
Wow.
Yeah, because you remember Jake the Snake who used to play
Yes.
with sometimes?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like the rink manager there, and he was like, you shoot me Burmistro again.
What if a
Like,
puck went errant and like hit him in
awesome.
the face and like last like cut his eye or
Well,
something?
that happened to Blake Wheeler in the warm up tonight. So
Did he really?
Nothing. Yep.
What?
Dude, that guy gets hit.
Why
in the
didn't you
head
mention
with
this in
pucks
the
all
Jets time? What the hell?
Sorry. I
Didn't
forgot.
Buff hit him in the head with a slapper in practice this year too?
Yeah, I think like the pucks
Jesus.
are just like, Wheeler, what? You're having too good of a season. Stop. He's like, no, I'm working hard for this.
Please stop.
I was at a game a couple years ago where he blocked a slap shot with his collarbone.
Ooh.
Like literally, it went like right off his
Yes.
neck. I was like, oh god.
That's one of the disadvantages of having a massive frame like Blake Wheeler has, right? You get hit by a lot.
The thing
of
with
stuff.
him is though, it's like he's down and you think he might like never be able to like breathe
He's-
again.
yeah.
And then 2 minutes later he's on the ice.
Did you hear that
It's like,
interview
alright.
with Paul Maurice where he was
Alright.
talking about Matthew Perreault like that? He's like, yeah, every game Matthew Perreault has like a career-ending injury. And he just pops right back up, and there he goes.
It's true.
All right, I'm Matthew Perreault. You know who also
Really?
has a small frame? Not
Who's
to try and steer away from the Jets.
Oh,
Jared
yeah.
Spurgeon.
Does he? Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the
He
deal?
hold on. He's
Nice
What
segue.
is the?
Nice
and then we're
segue.
gonna have a good
Nice
talk
segue.
about defenseman contracts because I just found one that I'm like, hey, Jets and Truba's camp.
Hold on.
This is a comparable.
Jared Spurgeon
Go.
signed a 4-year extension for $20.75 million. So
Right.
5.187 per. Jared fucking Spurgeon.
And you wonder
What are
why
his
that's
stats? What is his stat line? Please give me his stat
I will.
line of last year,
If you got
because-
your
well,
comparable deal.
Okay,
right
here's
now.
my
you-
comparables for the Truba camp. If do you
I
have
was just gonna
something
say,
really quick? Yep.
if you want Exhibit A of why Dustin Bufflin wants $8 million a year, there you go.
Yeah, because we're giving people like Jared Spurgeon $5 million. So okay, Dougie Hamilton got signed last summer, of course, by the Flames in that sweet deal where Brian Burke knocked out the Bruins GM and just ran out the door with Dougie Hamilton.
We were in
over his
Calgary that
shoulder.
day.
That was we were at the Dome.
Oh, Carey's the
I
guy
still
who I
think
went on
that,
tour
like-
with. So
Yeah,
I
there you
that's
still
go.
me.
think that like they meant to hit like Boston meant to type decline and it just autocorrected it to sure.
Berkey hacked the computer like, nope, he's coming. But anyway, Hamilton got signed 5.75 a year, and he has better stats this year. He has 12 points, 5 goals, 7 assists, and he's a +2. He's played in all the games for the Flames. The Flames, just like the Jets, have had their ups and downs. A big part of that for me has been the fact that Mark Giordano had a really rough start, and they just weren't playing as hard as they started last year. And Jared Spurgeon.
Okay.
Jacob Trouba. Anyway, Jacob Trouba this year has 2 goals, 5 assists, and +1. So he's asking for more while doing less.
Jared Spurgeon, the last couple seasons. I'll just go back 4 years. He played 39 games, had 5 goals, 10 assists, 15 points.
Okay.
And then following season, he had 67 games played, 5 goals, 21 assists, 26 points. Last year, 66 games, 9 goals, 16 points, or 16 assists, 25 points.
That's it?
Gets you $5 million.
Well, here's
As
the
a
other.
defenseman.
Here's what else is interesting.
I want to see if he's a right-handed shot.
And coming back to my
confirmed, he is a right-handed shot.
That's always.
That's it.
always
That's a
what it comes down
right-handed
to.
bonus. What the piss?
What is that?
Andre
Right?
Sekera, Jeff Petrie, all
Hey,
players that got
Sekera
paid
is
way
a talented
more
hockey
than...
You
player.
mean Edmonton?
He's
Pick
not
him up.
worth what he's getting paid, but he's on a team that just needs it. So, Here's the other thing about Jacob Trouba, who I love. I want to put that on the record right now. He's like one of my favorite Jets. He's awesome. But he had 29 points his first year, same number of games played. He had 22 last year. And he's gone, like, literally his stat line has gone down every year. Which, if you're talking about a player who you're, like, banking on the future of how his career's going to pan out, why would you say, oh, well, no, he's going to get better. Look. Oh, wait.
That's why you bridge him, do the show me contract.
That's what I mean.
The thing is, though, he's been on the third pair with Mark Stewart the last 2 years.
He was on the second pair.
He got moved to...
He was hurt. But then also he was up on the second pairing with Mark Stewart because we had so many guys hurt last year.
Well, yeah, but he was in that hurt category too when all those guys were out.
Oh, totally. But
but now he's up. He's playing with Dustin Byfuglien right now, top pair.
Right, and
so
he's still
now's the time you're going to find out,
what he's made of,
what he's worth the rest of the year.
Totally, and I mean I remember Jacob Trouba in his rookie year looking like a man among boys for some games. Like he just was skating so well and just making perfect outlet passes and everything. And last year he was good, and he's been good again. It's not like he's a bad defenseman by any stretch. I just think he's not. I don't know. I want him to go for a show me deal instead. Because I think that would be better for him and for the Jets.
I think people are expecting him to be like Norris Trophy caliber.
That's the other
right
thing.
now.
Our team,
he's not.
Go.
He's not. He's 21 years old. He's
exactly.
Honestly, he's probably got 4 or 5 years before he's really in his prime.
Right, and that's what bugs me is like if the camp is actually asking for that means he's going to get that next year. And if he gets that next year, Winnipeg, holy crap, is the criticism going to rain down upon his poor little head? If he puts up another season like he does this year or last year, where it's 22 points or whatever, and he's getting paid $8 million or what do they have, $7 million?
Yeah.
People are going to be all over.
Well, and that's the thing that we talked about last week. They're
going to try and
once you get above $6 million as a defenseman, you're in the upper echelon of defensemen. Yeah. Drew Doughty makes $8 million.
Right.
PK Subban makes 10, but that's
what does Shea Weber make?
His is a little different because Philadelphia made that contract.
And they strike again.
There's many ways.
I think he makes around like 11.
There's the dick clause.
They front end loaded the shit out of that. They were trying to ruin Nashville. They were trying to move Nashville. Actually,
yeah, they were like, "Can you please leave Nashville?"
There's lots of ways to look, but it's tough because if you look at the contract for right now, it's way too much money. But
do you think you make it back at the end?
For an 8-year contract, you'll get him till he's 30 years old. So if he turns into a Norris Trophy winner, you're going to get him for probably 5 years of his prime at $7 million, potentially less.
Right.
Which for if and it's an if he turns into a Norris Trophy winner, which is what they think he could be, it's a great deal. Everyone's happy. If he doesn't, you kind of take it, and you're taking all the heat for it. So it's going to be it's going to be a gamble.
Look at big
that they're going to have to decide if they want to do it or not.
And the other thing too is if you sign him to 8 years now and he's done his contract at 30, we all know what a terrible time for a contract to end at 30 is. Hello, Andrew Ladd. Hello, Dustin Byfuglien. Like, it's just a crappy time because it's like, well, you clearly still have 3 or 4 like really good years left in the tank for you, but with an injury or something major like that happening, all of a sudden this is a really bad time to re-sign somebody because it's like, well, do we commit for just now or do we, right?
Yeah.
So that's why, again, I mean, just my opinion, but I think if they could convince him to do like a bridge deal and then he signs the big 8-year deal. Boom, 32. Oh, that's not so bad. Okay, we'll sign you another 3-year or whatever, and you could probably get a more reasonable contract. I'm sure that's probably exactly what Chevy's saying and exactly why nothing has been signed. Hey-oh.
With Ladd, I think the money value is a little too much, but with Byfuglien, I think for right now, for what he is, the money value I think is spot on.
It makes sense.
I think it's the 8-year term that's the problem.
Yeah.
If he would take a 4 or 5 year contract, I think the Jets would do it in a heartbeat.
Yep. I don't think they would bat an eye at that.
When he gets 34, 35 years old, he's got 3 or 4 years left.
And how is he going to be able to play like that until then, right? I mean, maybe he does an Alex Ovechkin and changes his game a little bit and remains effective, but I don't know.
Ooh, just to move on a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
The Winnipeg Jets, or former Winnipeg Jets, had a record broken. Teppo Numminen previously held the record for game-winning goals by a defenseman with 19 in the franchise. Oliver Ekman-Larsson passed him this past week and now has 20 game-winning goals to the Jets/Coyotes franchise.
Wow.
And just speaking of Oliver Ekman-Larsson, he played for Sweden at the World Junior Hockey Championships, which are coming up this week. Canada announced their team. I have that team.
All right.
Your segue game today is just...
He's on point.
Greg's. Now I get why Greg is like. Greg gets on us because we've been talking about the Jets for 40 minutes now.
Ooh,
40
sorry,
minutes.
guys.
Oh no, it's awesome. I'll let you guys go because I don't mind. But Greg, he wants to get points across. I got a time crunch. Now I get why Greg gets all pissy when I talk about wrestling and he loses his shit.
Greg has a point to get to, and that's the thing. Dan and I. Well, maybe.
The funny thing is, Greg's a Leafs fan. You think he'd be used to waiting.
Ooh.
Pot shots when Greg's not
here.
here.
Have you guys seen those YouTube videos, by the way, called The Leaf? And a structure that are being put out by like the Maple Leafs because they're hilarious.
No,
because I watched a Kasperi. That's what I did. I watched a Kasperi Kapanen like YouTube video for my Finland research, and all of a sudden now all this Maple Leaf stuff is being like, do you like the Leafs? Yeah, they're gonna rebuild. You have Mike Babcock.
Mike that Babcock.
I'm like, I know you have Mike Babcock though. He's really good. I'm like, okay, Leafs.
Thank you, YouTube.
Like, literally, YouTube. You know how like YouTube will give you suggestions. I watched one Kasperi Kapanen video, and my YouTube went from like music, boxing,
TED Talks,
hockey, TED Talks to Maple Leafs. I'm like, hey, how did they do that?
Well,
They're like, we have a lot of money. I'm like, oh my god,
there's 2 Maple Leafs on this Team Canada squad this season.
Oh really? And who are they, Cameron?
Well, let me tell you, Gary.
Oh, thank you.
There's one defenseman, Travis Dermott, and the forward, Mitchell Marner.
Oh, Mitch Marner!
So the goaltenders are Mason McDonald, Mackenzie Blackwood, although suspended, but he will play.
Why did he get suspended?
Carey, you didn't? Okay, he tomahawked a guy from over top and got suspended for 8 games.
Yeah! I want him.
We put him
in against the... We have to put him in against the States.
He can't. He's suspended for the first 2 games.
Wait, is Austin Matthews Canadian?
No, he's American.
Who's Canada playing on New Year's Eve this year?
Don't tell you. Let me get to it. God damn it.
Greg's gonna listen to this.
Yeah, and just be like, "Bow, you shit."
Just God damn it,
you The third string goalie is Samuel Montembeault. So the defenseman returning Joe Hicketts. He's probably going to be the captain, to be honest. Hayden Fleury, Thomas Chabot, Brandon Hickey, Roland McCowan, and Travis Hannon. Shout out.
One time
Flyers.
Hey, by the way, did you ever find out if Mr. Hickey is related to Mr. Thomas Hickey?
Oh, no, I didn't do that research. No? Sorry, guys.
That's fine.
Forward, Dylan Strome, Brendan Perlini, Julian Gauthier, Matthew Barzell, Rourke Chartier, Mitchell Marner. Shout out again, one time. Travis Konechny. Forward, again, Jake Virtanen, Braden Point, Anthony Beauvillier, John Quinville, Mitchell Stevens, and Lawson Krause returning forward. Now, what Canada has that many other teams don't have is the fact that they have returning players. Because some teams are fucking awful. Belarus is a bag of shit. I'm so sorry. They're fucking awful. The team that they had like 14, 19-year-olds help them qualify last year, but now they're all too old to play in the tournament. Anyways, so I'm so sorry, Belarus, if you're Belarusian or whatever you call yourself. Belarusian. Yeah. But
it's like pretty Russian, you know?
Yeah. Wow, that's terrible. But they have dynamic duos. Mitchell Marner will play with Ryan Strome because they've played together for quite some time.
Makes a little sense.
They have Braden Point will be playing with Jake Virtanen. And just fun fact, just because it's Travis Konechny and I want to keep this on the Flyers a little bit, he's best friends with Lawson Krause. And to tie the Jets into this, the only prospect that I could find, they're not going to have like the 5 that they had last year, but they will have Michael Spacek. He's the second-line center for Czech Republic. They drafted him in the 4th round this year.
Is he related to Yaroslav Spacek?
I don't know. I didn't do any research on that either. God damn it.
What are you doing?
Are you serious, dude?
If we just read the roster off, that's boring.
Yeah.
I know this stuff.
I'm so sorry, but here's
some trivia, bro. Hey, I looked up Finland, who has... Well, if you Google Finland for a World Junior roster for 2016, it brings up Sweden, hoping to upset Finland's homecoming party.
Is there anything we should know about Finland? Like, I know Canada's game is speed kills. We're going to try and beat you with speed.
Finland's going to be the exact same Finland as you ever thought they were. But they have big wingers this year, which is surprising because they usually don't have a very big team.
Mikko Rantanen is a big ma.
Mikko Rantanen is one of 3 really big mas. All right, Jesse Puljujärvi, big ma, 6'3".
Oh, he's up against Austin Matthews for first overall.
Really?
Yeah.
How did that not
Jesse
come up?
Puljujärvi.
Yeah, Jesse Puljujärvi. He's awesome. And Patrick Laine is also 6'4" and 210.
They have 3 6'4"
They have 3 6'4" wingers. Yeah, they do.
Mikko Rantanen tore it up
not to mention Kasperi Kapanen's coming back, who was pretty much the reason I think that Mikey Babcock said, yes, I'll come to Toronto, because he wanted another Zetterberg. I actually did.
Oh my God.
He was like, wait, you have a
begun.
Finn? You have a Finn? Yes. Do you have a Swede? Yes, we have Willie Nylander.
Wait, Zetterberg is Sweden.
I know. But I'm just saying, he wanted like another Euro center, right?
Oh,
is he really East-West, but he can back check? Yes. Oh, okay. Well, I'll come along.
I can do that.
I can make that work.
So Canada opens up the tournament on Boxing Day against USA at noon. This is North American Central Standard Time.
Why? Why on Boxing Day?
Because they want to ruin New Year's Eve. Let me lead into that. My New Year's Eve plans have been abolished. Yeah. Canada plays Denmark on Monday the 28th at noon Central Standard Time.
Okay.
And then they follow that up by they're going to demolish Switzerland at noon. Watch this. They're going to lose now. I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah,
you dick. Oh! Why would you? This is going to turn into the Olympics all over again where we have to go to a shootout and Sid the Kid has to save us. You dick. Why did you do that? Why?
Okay, I'm laughing because I have a friend
The Swiss are solid now. You can't just do things like that, all right?
I have a friend.
We're going to get Latvia, you dick.
A former coworker, he's a big fan of Swiss. He told me that his daughter was conceived in the first intermission of the Switzerland versus Canada game.
Ew. Why would anyone want to know that?
Who's
your friend?
I'm not naming names. I'm just
you gotta
saying.
name him now.
Nope,
Out him.
nope.
Also, fun fact about Jesse Puljujärvi, he's actually born in Sweden. Yeah, big middle finger to the Finns there, isn't it?
Oh, weird. Okay, we're way off topic. It's gone already.
Who cares?
Okay, Albania,
Take
Albania and Switzerland are playing each other in the 2016 Euro, and there's going to be 6 Swiss players playing for Albania and 7 Albanians playing for the Swiss.
A bunch of double
Isn't that
crossers
the
here.
weirdest thing?
Strange.
All right. So on the 30th, Canada plays at noon against Switzerland Central Standard Time.
Do they play the Finns?
And then the 31st, nope, but not until medal rounds. Thank God. Canada is going to play Sweden at
on
noon Central
31st.
Time. So we get Willie hockey on the 31st.
It's all right.
Yeah. Carey, what should we watch out for the Finns? Just the big wingers?
Big wingers, lots of speed as usual. I don't know if you've watched any highlights of Puljujärvi or of Laine, but
they
both
got
of them
slick
can
hands
shoot.
and a ridiculous shot.
Yeah, and Kapanen's phenomenal. Rantanen is great. Their goaltending's going to be nobody knows who they are, but probably really good as usual. I went through the rest of their roster, and I'm like, I don't know who these people are. I tried Googling them.
It's so awesome, though, that it pulls up like, were you looking for Sweden junior team?
Yeah, I'm just like, hey, no. I was looking at Finland, but mostly from all the write-ups what little I could find, Finland's going to be the same thing as always, where it's just going to be a team that plays as a 5-man unit.
In your face, they never give up.
They're going to forecheck, they'll be down 4-0, and somehow they'll beat whoever, you know what I mean?
5-4.
Yeah, exactly. Their goaltending is always a strength because of their coaching. They're going to play strong defense. You know, it's the usual Finnish game. And they're at home this year, though, so that might actually put some interesting pressure on them.
That's going to be huge.
Because usually Finland totally flies under the radar despite meddling very regularly. Like, everyone's like, Finland, who do they, Olli Jokinen? Okay, I don't need to hear anymore. Like, and they're just like, oh, they're gone, right? No one thinks about them anymore.
And then suddenly everyone
all of a sudden, Teemu Selanne is coming back and scoring hat tricks and winning medals. So you're like, yeah, what do you know about that? You know what I mean? So,
I was sad that day, yet happy.
Yeah.
I watched it.
And Finland's always put up a good fight in every tournament, except for that one time in 2011 when we got beat 8-1 by Canada. That was embarrassing. But
what do you mean we? Are you cheering for the Finns over Canada?
Here's the thing, Canada's probably they have a much better chance of winning than the Finns do. So if the Finns win, I'm like, ha flyer fan style.
True. Great. Okay. Makes sense.
I like Canada. Of course, I'd love for my country to win, but.
It's expected of us to win.
If
we don't win gold, we're like, well, you suck, don't come home.
You can all stay there. They're like, what?
It's off.
What do you mean?
You never come back.
That's pretty
Funny
much...
story, we didn't book your flights home.
Just why not? Yeah, no, so, I mean, yeah, it's, yeah. If Finland makes, a medal round, then that's pretty impressive. And I think that they'll have good attendance. That's the other thing, right? It's not like Canada where it's just we're going to sell it pretty much every game.
Well, it's all about money guarantees. If we could have it in Canada every year, we would, but it's not fair to anyone else, and it doesn't encourage the sport.
It's a totally different
But watch this. People are going to watch and be like, hey, wait, pause. Wind back 7 seconds. Why is there an empty seat in the 4th row in the left corner there? Why?
What's that all about?
yeah. And another thing.
Yeah, Finland has an interesting pool, though, because they played the Belarusians to start, which is awesome. But then after that, because especially after you just outed them for having
so
nobody.
sorry.
We're so sorry, Belarus.
I just shit on a whole
You're
country.
going to go right back to the... What's the other...
There's a very
World
strong
Juniors?
chance nobody from Belarus listens to this podcast.
But
If you do,
don't
though...
put all your money on it.
Yeah,
You
if
never
you
know.
do, though, shout out one time. Send
Shout
us
out
an
one
email.
time to Belarus.
LastmanNPC
Send your hate mail to Cam.
Send
Email to
the
the rest of us.
Kostitsins to beat them up.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I like that reference, huh?
Nice.
Oh, very nice. But then after that, though, they have Russia, the Czechs, and the Slovaks. So it's not, all teams they could, arguably beat, but all teams that could also arguably
Don't you
beat.
dare. Don't you dare say that about Russia.
Hey,
They have
Here's
the
what I love about
future
Russia.
Norris winner every year.
who's that?
Ivan the Conqueror Provorov.
Provorov. I
How dare
forgot
you.
about Provorov. You know what?
No, you know what's
I
worse?
rescind my statement. Finland's going to have a hell of a time getting
The
past
one
the
guy,
Provorov.
one guy.
Yeah, one guy with the
Provorov's
5
taking a
massive-
shift. Go, guys, go.
Yeah.
You can't have 8 on the ice. We
Provorov's
don't
on,
care.
Provorov's got like an oxygen mask on the bench. Like, Jesus, is Rantanen back out there? No!
No, mama, no.
No, mama, no. Or he'll be like, no, mama, no.
Okay, so predictions.
Okay.
Okay, apart from Canada, obviously, how do you think this is going to go down?
Oh, man.
First, second, third.
First, second, third, like after medals, everything?
Yeah.
Can I do
Okay,
1, 2, 3,
Canada's
4?
the obvious one, so just let's do it. Not Canada, because we think they're going to win gold.
I think it's going to be probably Canada, Sweden.
Okay,
the
Canada's
final.
exempt, but Canada, Sweden. Okay,
Yeah.
who's bronze? Finn.
Yeah, I'm going to go with my gut. Go with the
'Kay.
Finns.
This will be total
You know what?
football because I don't really get into
I
World
think I'm gonna-
Juniors
I
too
think-
much.
Here's actually, I want to repick mine in a second.
So this is
Messed up.
this is going to be completely just I don't know whatever I think. Canada gold,
Who do they beat?
Sweden,
Nice. Okay,
Denmark. No, I'm just kidding.
that'd be badass.
That'd be amazing.
Ehlers isn't there, so no.
Yeah, that's going to make things hard for me.
Oh shit! Hold on, I have to say something about Czech
I'll say
Republic.
Russia gets bronze. I don't even know if
Russia
that
gets bronze.
I don't know if that can even happen with the way the.
Oh, I don't know how the new tournament
I don't
works.
know.
Everyone gets a game. Just about Czech Republic though.
Yeah.
David Pasternak's on a conditioning stint in the
What?
AHL. They're waiting on word because they still have until tomorrow at I believe like noon our time to
Dude.
officially confirm. They could get David Pasternak, and
Okay,
he's like
and
he's a good
suddenly
enough
the-
player to at least put up a
To Nino that team? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, to Nino that.
Okay, who are your repicks then? So
Okay,
Dan, you're going
You know
with
who else
Canada,
is on a
Sweden,
conditioning
Russia.
stint? This is sidebar. Do you know who else is on a conditioning stint? Dave Boland. Yeah, $6 million man.
Hey, look.
Where's that now? That scary range. Go. Who's your repicks?
I had to say that. I'm sorry.
I gotta say, I can't believe I left the States out of that. So, yeah.
Yeah, I just want to say they have Austin Matthews.
You leave the 2 Jets prospects off. You're not getting a lot from this podcast.
You're goddamn
I
right.
suppose that's...
Yeah,
there's
we did
some-
shit
I'm
on
kidding.
some
I
truth
actually
to
kind of
that.
forgot about the States too.
Yeah, I don't know, man. The States are
Here,
good.
fine. If you're,
They're
I'll do my
fast.
picks. Obviously,
Yeah.
we think Canada's going to be gold, but you know what? Since I'm leaving Canada out, they're the exempt. I honestly think it's going to be a Finland-Sweden final.
Yeah?
I think because Sweden won the no way, Finland won Rasmus in Sweden. Sweden's going to do what Finland did to them. Sweden gold, Finland second. I'm so sorry, Carey. I'm cheering.
Dude, can you imagine the
Hold on,
heartbreak?
and bronze.
Yeah.
I'm going to do Russia over America.
Okay.
I think, not that I don't love Canada, but my quandary with Canada is that they went with a bunch of 18-year-olds. Obviously, they think they're good enough to build the team.
Yeah.
But they could have gone with the surefire, the 19-year-old guys who were surefire
Who's
to
that?
score.
Like, who
Who
they leave
though?
off?
They left. Well, Michael Dalcole.
Who?
He
But he had a rough year still.
No, I know he's having a rough year, but he's known for his speed and his puck control.
Yeah.
It's on European ice. I think I think Canada and North America are gonna have it. Sure,
But
they're
they,
fast,
but
but
they
they're
also
gonna have a tough time
stylized
with
their
that.
game about being fast, hasn't they? Haven't they?
Yeah, a little bit.
Here's also my other.
I'd
thing.
love to see. I just want to see
Okay.
Russia get a goal. They should hate them, but
I want to
can't.
repick.
Go.
So my repick is now Finland. I know. I'm
Do-over.
great. Do over. I needed a gimme.
Okay.
Finland U.S. final.
Okay.
Finland this year has they have the forwards. Yeah, they might be able to take it all the way because that's always the knock on them, right? Who scores for Finland? Nobody.
Yeah.
But this year they have 5 forwards that could legitimately score.
Because Barry Kapanen is doing great in the AHL.
Fantastic.
He's a
player.
team or like a 20-year-old against men. So.
Yeah. So there's that. And then U.S. obviously great. I think Finn's gonna win it because they're at home, and I think Sweden probably beats Russia or something, or Canada in the
Yeah, obviously we left
bronze.
Canada as asterisk because like obviously we want.
They could, yeah. The thing is, Canada could go
It's
full
expect-
Canada and then just win everything.
And that's the kind of thing that I kind of. Okay, it sucked losing like for 4 or 5 years, but
Yeah.
it was kind of nice too at the same time because it was like
Well, it made things real again.
the expectations weren't like, okay, gold or bust, we've won 6 in a row, super fuck, we're again. Like that's how it
That's
was.
exactly how small town Canadians talk.
Yeah.
It is true. They're like, well, what do you mean we didn't win the tournament? It's like, dude, other teams or other
and, like-
countries have really good development
And
programs.
with Finland, Russia, and like Sweden, all those teams, if they
And
even
America.
finish 4th, 3rd, and stuff, man, America's on the brink too. But if they finish like 4th, 3rd, if they medal or even do better than they think, everyone's like, "Wow, great job, that's awesome."
Oh, I see what
Canada,
you're
it's
gonna say.
like,
And the States,
well, you
too.
better win.
Canada can, like, small town Canadians are like, well, why didn't Canada win? And be like, who's this team? It's Finland team. Who is this? They didn't win.
yeah.
Well, they're good, but they're not Canadian. Why'd they win?
Yeah,
They-
yeah,
they're
exactly.
That's
Canadian.
our game.
That's
Well,
us with
well,
hockey. So.
Yeah.
If you're
Sure, but it
Canadian,
is. But it. I mean, to be fair, hockey is a much bigger part of Canadian culture than it is anywhere else. It's not the same in the States. It isn't the same in Finland. It isn't the same in Sweden. It ain't
No.
the same in Russia.
It's not the same anywhere but here.
if you aren't playing from Canada, then fuck you.
If you don't chew big red, then fuck you.
Could you pull up the election? Because right after the election, I have a fan email to read out.
Wait, the election?
Yeah, aren't you a regular listener of the podcast, Carey? You best say answer yes.
Oh, you mean the NHL?
If you don't listen to them,
The
it's
5
fine.
worst teams in the league. We call it the election this year because it was a Mikhaiko watch
Finn?
last year, and then
Yeah.
it turned to Mikhaiko Finnarovner watch last year, and then it turned into like we just kept adding names. This year it's
amazing.
the election because there's a
All
bunch
right,
of Americans
well-
in the top 10.
Okay.
So
I still think if you go first, you should pick Jesse Puljujärvi. He's incredible.
okay, well maybe
Do we want to do like the bottom 5?
five,
I hope the
4,
Jets
3, 2,
do
1.
so badly
Because there's
this year.
like 5 teams tied for 5th, and then
No, pick the
All right.
one at the bottom. Let's do it. Who's in 5th?
Edmonton,
4th,
Toronto,
3rd,
Carolina,
2nd.
Really?
Anaheim,
That's terrifying, isn't it? 1st.
Columbus.
Anaheim.
Oh,
Oh,
Mom.
piss.
Anaheim.
Asterisk tied with Edmonton for 5th are Arizona, Winnipeg, Calgary, and Buffalo.
Yeah,
yeah.
Winnipeg. What if Winnipeg got Jesse?
Dude, if Winnipeg got Jesse Puljujärvi, I would lose my mind. I'd buy a jersey that day. I'm not even shitting you. I'm like, what number is he? 2016 it is. All right.
Number 16 it is.
Be
All
like
right.
that,
Dude, that's a lad jersey. Doesn't even matter.
Like
Put
that
the
kid who bought a
captains here.
McDavid
That
last year
Jets
when the
fan that
Jets
bought a
were dead last for
McDavid.
like a week.
Yeah, he bought that McDavid
What?
Pro jersey last year.
Wait,
I wonder if he wore it to the playoff
he
game.
bought a McDavid jersey for which team?
Jets.
What?
When
Because
they-
the Jets were in last
Because they
for
lost
like
their
a week.
first like 4 games of
Last
the year.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
So got a
Yeah.
McDavid 97.
I
I
wonder.
saw it on Twitter. It was
I wonder if
ridiculous.
he wore it to the playoff game.
I would have.
I would have too, just to be like,
Just who cares?
And 97 is still a badass number, so you could just put your last name on it.
That would be a funny thing to do if you had like a lot of money and like ability to just get a ton of jerseys made right away. Is
if I gave 0 shits, I would do it.
Yeah, but to make a bunch of jerseys of like players that play for other teams with like put their name on like a Jets jersey instead, just like what? Dare to dream.
Well, I like him.
Like just like a
I
Stamkos
like him, but I'm
91
from Winnipeg.
on like
Yeah.
a Jets jersey. Hey, dude, Stamkos doesn't play. I don't think he's ever gonna play for the Jets. You're like, well, you don't know that.
Well,
Yeah,
If he does, you're gonna think you're
Just-
pretty stupid.
yeah. Ovechkin 8 on a Jets jersey, dude. What are you doing? He's always going to play for. No.
I've seen a
No.
bunch of number 8, not Jets, but on Washington jerseys, number 8, oven chicken. Yeah, it's
Oven
awful.
chicken.
I dig it.
Yeah, because Ovechkin.
Yeah.
All right, so we got another email from Donald Kendall.
My favorite boy.
My
from
favorite,
Chicago.
my number 1
Hello,
fan.
Donald.
For
I
the
wasn't-
record, I am your number 1 fan. Then Donald Kendall.
Okay, fine. Then Donald. Hey, Carrie, this is a professional thing.
Sorry, my mom's calling me.
Okay, well, we'll try and hurry it up.
Yeah.
Not. She can
Nat.
wait.
Yeah, mom.
What if it's an emergency? That'd be
Halloween,
terrible.
mom.
Yeah. All right, sorry.
Call her.
First off, thanks for the shout out. Responding to your questions. Only my grandma calls me the Don. Well, Don, I'm calling you the Don
We are
from now on. You
from
are the
now
Don.
on calling-
The Don
You could
from
be a
Tri-City.
contributor.
Big Don.
The big Don from Windy City.
There
Yeah.
we go.
Despite you calling me Greg, despite you calling me an ass, you are number 2 in my heart as well. That makes Dan number 3.
Which
Fuck
makes
you,
me
Dan.
Number 4, Finland forever.
Yes, I have.
Three's more than one, so fuck you guys both.
Nice. Oh. Yes, I have been to several Hawks games. Less as of late, unfortunately. As for the food at the Madhouse, oh damn it! So it's not the House of Hawks. Fuck, I was wrong.
No, it's the Madhouse.
I know. I called it the House of Hawks. I was trying to be cool.
You trying to make your own name for it?
Right in the
Don't
face.
do that.
Right in the face.
As for the food at the Madhouse, they serve a killer beef Sammy.
Oh.
He actually said sandwich. I just turned it Sammy.
We should.
Can you not make up cool words? Can you just read it word
Okay,
for word,
fine.
please?
Questions for yous guys. He spelled yous guys. Legit, he said yous
he's
guys.
a legit Chicago.
Okay,
This
which
guy has a mustache.
Okay, rapid fire. Which NHL team is your least favorite?
Oh,
Toronto.
Vancouver. Hate the freaking Canucks, man.
God damn it. You know what? I want to say the Rangers, but I fucking hate the Canucks
I
too.
can't stand the Canucks. And they're not even good. I have no reason to hate them.
I just can't stand the fact that people think Toronto's the center of everything all the time, no matter what.
Hold on. We live in Canada because of hockey. They're the mecca. That's why we hate them.
That's why they can go fuck.
Okay, next question. Do you think Patrick Kane has a chance at winning the Hart Trophy despite his off-season controversy?
Yes, 100%.
Absolutely.
I think landslide.
Give it
yeah.
to him. Give it to
See,
him.
and the upside with the NHL compared to other leagues is that they'll only look at like the production of what you do in the sport. They rarely look at outside.
Although, to be fair, I think that when it comes to Hall of Fame, an argument could be made that is what's keeping our dear friend Eric Lindros out of the Hall of Fame.
Why is that?
Well, because of his moves, his personality.
I was like, what do you mean, concussions? What are you talking about?
No, I mean, keeping him out of the Hall of Fame, I think, is mostly all of the controversy surrounding his contracts and so on and so forth. And also, I mean, he was known as not being a guy who was easy to work with, right? So.
Yep. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's...
That was it, rapid fire?
That's it.
2 questions?
Yeah, rapid fire. Well, we're already well over time. And I wanted to make sure Carey...
Too bad. I'm having so much fun.
Carey, well, thanks for coming. We'll have you on again, definitely.
Getting back on this podcast.
No, you're definitely coming back for sure.
Say,
Carey, pimp yourself out. Where can they find you?
If you want to look me up, just type into Google Carey J Bus. It's Carey spelled like Carey Price, BJBUSS. And you'll find all of my music, my SoundCloud, my Twitter, Facebook, all that crap.
And I'll tweet out the links. It'll be in the video down below. Click the links in the comments.
We didn't call Greg.
No! Call Greg! I'm so sorry. Go, it's a Christmas miracle. Happy holidays, everybody, from us here at Last Man In Podcast.
Once again, those Christmas cards we promised last year, you're not getting them this year.
No, but what you're going to get is, Greg doesn't know this yet, we're going to force him to sing because he's missing the podcast.
Because we have nothing to talk about, so that's all he can do.
Yeah, so whatever song he sings, that's going to be our Christmas theme for this season, everybody.
I love it. It's the holiday season.
All right, let's see. You got it on speaker? Let's turn it up. Is that on speaker?
Yeah, it sounds speaker.
This is live audio.
This is live. This is you guys know how we do.
This is professional.
I hope he answers. I don't think he's going to answer.
Greg, pick up, you son of a gun.
No, Greg.
Sorry, I missed your call. I'll get back to you just as soon as I can.
What a terrible answering machine.
Yeah, Greg.
How dare he?
Step your voicemail.
Well, technically, we heard his voice, so the streak still continues for
Do
Greg.
we need to sing for them now?
We do.
Okay, what song?
You sing a song
You're
for
the
Christmas.
yeah,
You let
you
us
gotta
in
do
there.
it.
Any song you go.
Jesus, look
You're the
what
Go.
I've
musician,
done.
man. You
Go.
gotta do it.
Oh.
Start singing.
What?
If
Christmas song?
just any song that's in your mind, because the song that's on my mind right now, we sing all the time on the
What
podcast.
song is that?
Take his golden wings, so I can fly and send me on far away.
I don't know what song that is.
Come on, you've never seen the progressive commercials where it's like
The E-Trade baby.
Come on, the E-Trade baby. What the fuck,
E-Trade
Carey?
babies.
We let you on our
ever.
podcast and you know the
Oh my God.
Flexing the golden pipes.
Can you guys please remember that
inspirational.
I don't have a TV?
You don't need a
You don't
TV,
need
use
TV
the
for
internet.
Oh crap, even worse.
Dan and I spent a lot of time, we've all spent a lot of time on the internet.
Yes.
No, I don't know. What is that? I don't...
Unbelievable. Here, you start singing a song. I'm going to try and get Greg one more time.
I gotta sing... I gotta pick a song that you guys would actually know.
No, just sing. On the spot, do it.
Oh, yeah.
Anything.
No pressure. Dance, monkey, dance.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be good.
No, but you just advertise...
We let anybody on this podcast. That's why you're here.
Hey, the truth comes out.
Way to get Nobody's coming on this now ever again.
Yeah, no, nobody. Well, yeah, no kidding.
It's okay. You know what? The thing is, though, that what makes this podcast so appealing is its incredibly low standards.
Hey,
You
watch.
No, you guys have told me. You talked about it on the podcast last week. You're like, yeah, we've just gotten worse since we started.
Yeah, we have struggled. Okay, I'm going to try and call Greg.
You're relatable. You're funnier.
I want to call Greg one more time. The streak still continues. We heard the voice.
We did hear the voice. He's always on here.
Okay, yeah, we're still waiting for a song here. You're the music man.
I'm frozen right
Here
now.
comes Santa Claus. Here comes Santa Claus. Down Santa Claus Lane.
You didn't even know that song.
Santa Claus.
That's the embarrassing part.
And Santa Claus and the moose are coming down. Said, there's Adam Lowry, Nick Batan, and we got Austin Gossard. Yay! I gotta put you on the speaker. No, wait, don't leave us. Greg, let's hear your sweet, sweet voice.
What?
Yay, you're on the podcast. The streak lives. Greg,
We talked about everything because we forgot to call you, so
we're about to leave,
got
so
nothing.
we got to do standard and let you log us out. But first, Greg, can you sing the first song that comes to mind, please?
Christmas themed, preferably.
Christmas themed?
Yeah, let us have it.
I don't want to.
Greg, you do it. You're not on the podcast in person. You better make up for it in audio.
I can't sing though.
I don't care if you can't sing. I just sang, and they heard my
Cam
golden
definitely
pipes.
can't
Cam just killed one of the songs that I don't remember the name of.
Let me have it.
Here comes Santa Claus.
That's the one.
I don't want. I'm
Greg, you sing
Cameron,
any
listen
song. You do it.
in a public place right now, Cameron.
You sing anyways.
Where
It
are
doesn't
you,
I
matter.
can't just
Where are
break
you?
out in song
Where are you?
at work.
He's at work.
Oh.
Just sing, Greg. Do it.
Work. This is your work.
Sing Adele, man.
Here, Greg, I'll start you off. Hello.
Is it me you're looking for?
I could see it in your eyes.
I don't know the rest of that song.
That still counts. Did you?
No, you gotta line it. It's good.
Do you have any things to say right before you sign us off?
Do I have anything to say?
Yeah.
I hope everybody has. I just broke something.
Everybody has. Crap.
Okay. Well, you want to sign us off then? Since you hope you broke something?
I want to congratulate Jonathan Bernier on his first win of the season.
Hey, way to go, buddy.
First AHL win?
It was a shutout against the LA Kings on Saturday night.
Damn.
Yeah. He's actually not as bad as everyone thinks. And I guess, what episode is this? 72?
Yep.
Did you guys talk about the 72 Summit Series at all?
Wow.
We did
We
not.
dropped the ball hard. We didn't even touch it.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the 73 Summit Series next week.
There's no.
Yeah, no.
We'll
it
make
was,
it
it was
up,
a year
alright?
later, okay?
It happened. It's not as memorable.
Yeah, we really broke the ball on that one.
This is ridiculous.
Greg, sign us out then.
Okay.
You're prolonging
Thank
the
you.
pain.
Thanks everyone for listening. I hope you enjoyed episode 72 with special guest Beardo. I'm going to call you Beardo, Carey.
That's what I get, Greg?
That's what you get.
I'm into it.
72.
Thanks,
Hopefully you guys have a Merry Christmas. I guess we'll see you guys next week, right before it hits the new year. I'll hopefully be there in person.
That would be good.
Check us out on Twitter, Instagram, not Instagram, we're not on Instagram, or Tumblr, or
No,
Facebook.
Tumblr is not for us.
We're above all of those.
I like how I say
Yeah.
us, like as though I'm actually a part of the podcast.
Yeah, Carey's taking over. He's got a real ego.
Huge ego.
I see. Well, you guys can enjoy your Christmases. Merry Christmas to all of you. We should have done a gift opening.
Yeah.
Next
Cam.
week.
Well, thanks for
week.
suggesting it.
Let's
Yeah.
get gifts for each other.
Okay.
I bought you a gift.
Okay.
I'm bringing friendship, so you'll never disappointed with that.
Should I win?
Cameron, I'm always disappointed by your friendship.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
Jesus.
Okay,
What
before
can I-
this
what
gets
can I-
any darker, can we friggin' sign this one out here? Jesus.
What can I buy with your friendship? Nothing.
More friendship, obviously, for friendship points.
Happy
I'm going
memories.
to take an X-Acto knife that's in my hand right now and stab you with the friendship that you're giving me.
Jesus.
So I think
That's
of you.
going to be one warm stab of friendship.
It got really dark here. I hope everyone has a great Christmas. Stay safe. Don't drink and drive. Hopefully it's snow-filled wherever you are, even if that means you're in the southern states. And other than that, yeah. Cameron, you take it away.
All right, see you later, Greg. Thank you. Well, you can... The stars are brightly shining. It's Asia Born Justin Bufflin and Juliet and Jacob Juba.